A campus police officer repeatedly accused of harassment and inappropriate contact with students and staff. But for 10 years, our investigation uncovered the university kept him on the force. The accusers say it's because there was a culture of impropriety that went all the way up to the top. More than half a dozen women had accused Sergeant Wilber Bryant.
When I look at you, I look at you from head to toe.
And yet he remained on the police force until a freshman student recorded him in this phone conversation.
To make love to you would be great.
That's the chief of police here.
The university suspended Chief Morgan after its internal investigation, but said there wasn't enough evidence against Sergeant Bryant. A campus disciplinary review committee later disagreed, saying the university should have taken action against Bryant.
Now, you heard what I just said about making love to you.
Prosecutors say former executive assistant to the school's president was the ringleader. Investigators say that Alicia Johnson arranged sex between several men and at least one woman. Johnson is now charged with prostitution herself. The men are the other 6 people that have been indicted. Each is charged with solicitation and pandering, and they include a county commissioner, a city manager, and a former middle school administrator.
Trying to get a hold of Mr. Wilbur G. Bryant.
No.
Yeah, Mr. Bryant. Hey, I was just returning your call. This is Investigator Williams of the Georgia Post.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad, sir. I know sometimes these felony charges and whatnot can really linger on for a long time through the courts and also definitely through Post as well. So from the Post standpoint, I apologize for that. I wish I could change it. I've only been working there. I retired in November, went to work there in December. And I can tell you it is frustrating the time it takes to even to process the most simplest of cases. It blows me out of the water. But with that said, I want to give you an update where we're at, and then I'll field any questions you may have, and we can chat for a minute. First of all, I should have asked, sir, is this a bad time or is this a good time?
No, you good. I walked outside. I'm at work.
Okay. Well, I apologize for not asking that first. I usually do.
That's all right.
First of all, this case was originally with Investigator Fleming. He has since retired. I have reached out to the only 2 things I needed for the case. One, now, and I got you on the phone now to speak to you. And then the other, last week I sent a request to a special agent of the GBI who apparently handled the criminal investigation, sounds like, from what I've gotten from the courts and through GCIC and whatnot. And he's moved on, and they've forwarded my request to someone else in that office, in that region. So hopefully I'll get some traction on that and get that received here in the near future so we can close yours out.
But now too, mine was all misdemeanor. That was one of the main things that we talked about. I know you said felon, but mine was misdemeanor.
From what I have and got from Investigator Fleming and from the courts, it says, let's see here. It says
I can forward you mine what I got too if I need to.
Okay. Well, let's see here. It says you're charged with simple battery, misdemeanor, bribery, felony, and violation of oath by a public officer on 2 counts. That's felony. Then you were indicted, case number, Peach County, grand jury. And then it says on 4/21/22, under first offender, you agreed to a negotiated plea of guilty to 1 count, a violation of oath by a public officer, which was a felony, and all other charges were nolle pros or dismissed. And with the 1 count that you pled to, it says sentenced to 5 years felony probation with one of his 8 special conditions to surrender post-certification. Were you able to hear me? I know there's a lot of background noise. Were you able to hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay.
And it's not 5 years, 3 years. That's what I did. They did 3 years. So 5 years, then a felony, 3 years, keep it at misdemeanor.
Okay, well maybe
I need to forward you what I have.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that.
And they still hadn't put anything on my record. They haven't put anything on my records. My record's still clean.
Are you talking about on GCIC?
Right.
sorry for not knowing this, but I have so many cases. This is the first time you and I have communicated by email or anything, right?
Right.
So since there is such a discrepancy, what all happened in a nutshell that led to all this, and how you got to the plea that you got worked out? Can you walk me through all that?
Yeah, bottom line, you want from I'm gonna fast forward real quick. Bottom line, the big fight that broke out at the school. I'm gonna say probably 18 people's involved, and she was one that was picked out by another person, verified it. But she had already been a problem child anyway with most of the football team, whole 9 yards. That I went on another call with, but I didn't never say anything to her, and until the night of the day of the fight. The next day, we'll figure out who it was. Bottom line, I told the guy to go ahead and arrest all of them, because they went all over the internet, their whole 9 yards everywhere else. Go ahead and arrest all of them, lock them up. All right? And we got to draw the line somewhere. Hold on a second. All right. Bad fall, her mama really threatened me that night on the phone, but the chief I had, Morgan, didn't care too much about me. So I couldn't get the phone record from the school to get that information. And my cell phone from the school, I couldn't get the information from the cell phone from the school. It was like every time you ask for something, it's gone, it disappeared, like that. All right. Fast forward from that. So, she started coming to my office, started talking to her. She always said her mama didn't get nothing about her. It started over a debit card. She had one of her friend's debit cards so she can eat. The friend let her borrow a debit card so she can eat, but she wouldn't give it back to her. That's how the fight started. So the other girl had friends and she had friends. That's what the big fight started off with. At the bottom line. So over a period of time, every time you turn around, she come to my office, she come to my office. So she needs somebody to talk to because she didn't feel like she was worth living the whole 9 yards, stuff like that. So I was like, trying to get you to counseling, but we didn't have a counselor at the time. So I just told her every time she want to talk, swing by and holler. But she come by probably about every other day. Every other day she just swing by. A lot of time I didn't have time to talk to her. A lot of time I wouldn't even in the office, and they should have that noted too. So make a long story short, I started talking to her on the phone, which I probably never should have, but somebody come to you for, like they're gonna say you want to talk to her, make sure they're okay.
Right.
I never asked her for anything concerning sex. I just talked to her about sex if you listen to the information. And I always said hypothetically. And that's why I said, okay, I crossed the line with my oath there, but I wouldn't agree to anything else. That's why I agreed to that. Bottom line, her mama took everything in content and put it all over the internet. I know you probably seen it all over the internet and everywhere else. And you got people who committed 2 or 3 murders that never been put on the internet like that. All over the world, everything else. All right?
Yes, sir.
Trying to discredit me. So I just kept my mouth closed, went back to work, just resigned, went on about my business. All right? But every time I called the school try to get something from my chief, like the video from the hallway where I went to the room because she called me, the phone call, she called me on the school phone that night, everything. Mind you, I worked 14 hours before I went to that room, so I'm trying to go home, but somebody telling you they feel like they're going to hurt you. So what you going to do? You don't have a counselor or anything. Nobody on the front deck that night. And I about stayed in the room maybe 3 minutes to make sure she's okay. At the same time, she asked me about space or something like that, just a little space. I said, well, the space problem, nobody should get no closer to you want to than the space. So she kicked the cover. I reached down and picked the cover. She threw the leg out. Her leg went right to the toe went right to my face, And so that was it. And I was talking about sucking her toes. So I told her, I never let your toe got that close to my mouth, if somebody didn't care something about you. Bottom line. Fast forward from that, I waited. A year later, they called me and told me, they had a warrant for me. So, they only talked to me, that agent only talked to me one time for about 30, 40 minutes. That's it. Never talked to me anymore.
Where was the interview, a discussion you had with him? Was it Holland? Was it a guy named Holland?
Right.
Where did y'all have that discussion at?
It was at the sheriff's office over in not Dooley County, but down from Dooley County. I forget what exit was off of, because
Okay.
I was headed to a funeral at the time, and I'm trying to think what the name of the sheriff officer was. Unadilla. It was in Unadilla.
Okay. So it wasn't on the side of the road or in a parking lot. It was actually in a room.
Right.
Okay.
And I was straight up honest with them, the whole 9 yard, and told the whole 9 yard. But every time I go try to get something from the school, it's gone. Cell phone record, can't get it. Camera, can't get it. And how you get to my office, you got to come through the front door of the police department downstairs, and there's a camera right there. I couldn't get that. They showed that, hey, you came to my office, but you said you're afraid of me, but you came to my office probably every day.
Right.
Bottom line, you set me up, but I didn't realize it. So everything I said, you recorded.
So tell me how they went through the court system.
I kind of took a back seat and let my lawyer handle it, but went through the court. You had to go for calendar call and all that kind of stuff. But bottom line, when it got down to the agreement, like I told my lawyer, I said, we've been fighting. I'm probably 4 years of my life. I can't sleep at night. I lost everything. I lost my house. I lost my truck. I'm just still losing stuff. I can't keep losing stuff. I lost everything I got. Rest all of them, lock them up. And so I told him, I said, what's the best thing to do? And he looked at it. He said, let me get back. He got back with me. And I told him, I said, violation. I said, I agree with that, because I probably should have thought about what I was saying before I said it. But that's it. I said, that's it. And that's how I came up with that. I told him, I said, if you look back, 31 years, I've been police since I was 19 years old.
It's a long time.
That's my whole life. Why would I throw all that away? So when I got your email, it kind of like, brightened my day. But at the same time, I know I got to go through a process.
Yeah, and I really hate that for you. I truly do.
And on the part with the court, the only stipulation they put on me is not to go back to Fort Valley State. I don't report to nobody. I call in every month. That's it. It's 3 years, not 5 years. And a $500 fine.
Yeah, the $500 lines up. The couple other things,
And they wanted me to wear ankle brace, but they said I had to wear no ankle brace. I never wore ankle brace. They wanted to do house arrest for 6 months.
Who, the prosecution?
Right. And then that never happened. That never happened. I didn't have to do that. They started uncovering stuff that just wasn't right.
Mr. Bryant, I'm looking at the what the court sent me, and after I get what you send me, I will in turn, after I receive that, scan what I have on you and send it to you so you can see it, okay?
Okay.
I'm not one to try to pull the wool over anyone's eyes at all. I'm a pretty straight shooter, and I'm looking here. It's a 4-page document, okay? And it says final disposition, felony with probation, negotiated plea, and there's four different charges. One of simple battery, an oath by public officer, and bribery. Those three are all three null prost, and you understand what that means.
Right.
And then the fourth one was that second count, which now it's one count of violation of oath by public officer, guilty, and the sentence is 5 years with a fine of $500. I'm looking at it very intently. I don't see anywhere on here where it says it can be reduced to 3 years, unless there's some other kind of court document came out after this that they didn't send to me that would reduce that. I don't have that, so I'm very curious to see what you have.
Okay. When I get home probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I can put my hand dead on it.
Okay.
And I'll probably text it to you first, and I'll email it to you tomorrow when I get back to work.
Yeah, you can just email it. That's fine.
Okay.
I wouldn't have no way to get it off my phone, honestly.
Okay.
But and by the way, if you do call my cell phone or text me, either way, please be sure to leave your name, your first and last name, because I get I get so many calls from folks that, hey man, just check and see what's up. I don't have the means to research that phone number to see who they are.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. When you get the chance, send me that, and like I say, once I've reviewed that, I will send you a copy of what I have from the courts, and then, like I said, I'm still waiting on the criminal report from whatever region that was, or the GBI that Holland directed it to, since he's been transferred. And then hopefully we can close the loop on this and clear up the mud that's between what I have and what you have, apparently. And get your case turned in so that they can make a final decision as to what they're going to do with your case. Because does this go back to 18?
Right, correct.
Man, I'm sorry for that. I can't stand things taking that long. I really can't.
Yeah, that's why I told you I had to back up and say. I really had to back up and say it myself. You know what I'm saying? You can't sleep at night. You sweating. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking at you kind of funny. You got to say it yourself.
Yes, sir, you do. I applaud you for. You sound really, really strong, despite the time that it's been, and I applaud you for that. I really do.
Oh yeah. I'm treating you a little bit about me. In all my key in life, I'm involved on. My oldest daughter's driving patrol car with me. She's a police officer in Virginia. She's a recruiter now for the police department. My oldest son, he played basketball for the military. He rode a patrol car with me. He went to Fort Valley State, following behind me. All right.
That's awesome.
My other daughter, next right behind him, she's a nurse practitioner in Texas. Okay, so I'm involved in all their life. I ain't got time for no crazy stuff.
Yes, sir.
And when all this went down, every last one of them called me, and they said similar same thing. Yeah, we know how you are. We know you see right through that. Bottom line, one of my daughters, I ain't nothing but about somebody trying to get some money.
Hey, there's one other thing. I'm glad that we're still on the phone, because I probably would have forgotten to say something. And it's probably just because the case is so old. Is when I got the case, I think I told you Fleming retired, and there's no record of a response letter in here from you. Do you recall that terminology at all?
For the agent?
No, this is for the certification. When you got notified by post, it says.
I've never been notified by post. This is the first time I've been notified when you hit me up.
You're out of your. Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious. That's why I hit you back. Like I text you back, say I would hit you because I was busy. I was actually in church when I got there. When I looked at the email, this is the first time I've ever been contacted.
Let's see here. Let me pull this thing up real fast. Let's see. And of course I won't know. It won't have it in here. Back in 18, and on October the 2nd, the gateway system shows that a form letter, which is a notification letter, was sent to you, and that would have been by mail. It talks about a response letter in that notification. And when you asked about being before the committee or whatever, it doesn't work that way. But
I didn't know.
Your response letter, they read that, they see that, and that's, hey, short and sweet to the point, and make it as long as you have to, but don't get wordy, because if it's pages and pages long, they probably won't read it.
Right.
But that's you speaking on your behalf, and the number of people that don't submit those things, it blows me away, because all the people I get the opportunity to tell, I'm like, hey man, this is you getting to say your piece about what happened, and otherwise you don't get that chance.
All right, you get that to me. I'll definitely send you a response letter.
Okay, and now in that, it's going to have instructions about there's a 15-day period you have to get it notarized and sent to me and blah blah blah. Don't worry about all that, honestly, because all the other I don't know about all of the most investigators I've talked to, is only 11 of us, and since I've been working there, I don't care if it's within 1 day or whether it's in 3 years, or in your case 4 or 5 years, and it doesn't have to be notarized. I'm still going to treat it the same. I'm still going to they're still going to see it. It ain't going to make a difference. It truly isn't. But legally, you're supposed to, according to the directions I'm going to send you, it's going to tell you, well, your 15-day grace period or period is way gone. I don't care about that, and I don't care about the notarization either. Okay, just type it up and send it to me. Whatever. I would only give you two things of advice. One is to print your name and sign it and date it, obviously, but also address it to the Georgia Post Council. You don't have to address it to me. But if you forget, it doesn't matter. But it's just more professional if you address it to them.
Okay.
And then I'll get that. I'll make a note that you're going to get that to me. And again, I get the stuff from Holland. I get the email with what you got from courts. Then I'll turn around and send you what I have. And then we can bump heads together and see what direction we need to go from there.
I sure appreciate it, sir. You don't know how you're going to make my day.
Well, I appreciate you calling me back, and I wish you the best, and hopefully we get this thing resolved in a favorable for you or whatnot, but that's not up to me.
Okay, I know. But I appreciate you talking to me, because they take a lot of stress off just by talking to you.
Yes, sir. Again, if you think of any questions or anything that you didn't think of while we're talking, you can reach back out to me by email, by phone. And again, if you do phone or email, well, I guess your email will have your name on it. Yeah. All right, sir. I won't keep you no longer, but you have a good night, and we'll be in touch soon, okay?
So, in this good week, I sure appreciate it. I thank you.
All right, take care.
Bottom line, I told you guys to go ahead and arrest all of us. Bottom line, I told you guys to go ahead and arrest all. Because it went all over the internet for your whole night, you're on your way. Bottom line, I told you guys to go ahead and arrest all of us. Bottom line, I told you guys to go ahead and arrest all of us. Bottom line, I told you guys to go ahead and arrest all of us. Bottom line. I can't sleep at night. I lost everything. I lost my house. I lost my truck. I'm just still losing stuff. You know, I can't keep losing stuff. I ain't got time for no crazy stuff. Bottom line. Because it went all over the internet for your whole night, you're on your way. So I probably should have thought about what I was saying before I said it. Bottom line, I told you guys to go ahead and arrest all of us. Bottom line, I told you guys to go ahead and arrest all of us. Bottom line. Because it went all over the internet for your whole night, you're on your way. Bottom line, I told you guys to go ahead and arrest all of us. Bottom line. I never asked her for anything concerning the sick. I just talked to her about the sick, if you listen to the information. And I always said hypothetically. She throw the leg out, leg went right in my, the toe went right in my finger. That's just my second toe, so I said, you know,